All right, want to welcome on Dave Yoo, founder of Onsides. Dave, two-time guest on Buying Sandlot.
Yeah, honored.
Podcast, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So last time we talked about your beta rollout for Onsides, which is a platform meant to aggregate lots of these management platforms like TeamSnap, Sports Engine, and now LeagueApps. So why don't you talk about a little bit about the product and now how things are going since the launch of the beta?
Yeah, it's been a great month, or a little bit over a month that we rolled out the beta. Got tremendously positive feedback. You know, as we expected in this beta stage, it's really the support of all the apps. We have 5 that we're supporting right now, and every one of those has been received very positively. We have a lot of people interacting with the AI assistant, sometimes sending us really funny screenshots of feedback that they got from the assistant. So it's been a very positive and very exciting month or so since the beta launch.
What are you seeing as like one of the 1 or 2 primary use cases so far? Because the app, it can do a lot, and I know you have plans to do more in the future, but like what right now is like, okay, that is unexpectedly what people are using it for, or expectedly?
Yeah, I'd say I'll do one of each. The expected one is the calendar sync. So I actually sent out a survey asking what are the features that you use the most, and the phone sync was the top one, which was our bet, is that parents love to use their phone calendar, and we can provide that plumbing that goes into it. That's the number 1 expected feature. The second one is the game day concierge that provides extra detail, what uniform to wear, extra notes, specific field location, drive time. People have told us that it's kind of fun. Like, we get this special push notification that says, hey, it's game day, and here's what you need to know. That has really resonated positively with parents, and that was a little bit unexpected.
You guys, when we talked the first time, you talked about how the more platforms you guys can integrate, the more useful the app becomes, because it simplifies that much more complexity. So you came out of the gate with support for TeamSnap and Sports Engine. This week, conveniently or coincidentally or not, LeagueApps is available. So talk about that piece of it.
So some of it's kind of a no-brainer, right? The more integrations that we have, the more consolidated everything can be for the parent, the much more useful it is. And we are getting some feedback saying, when are you going to do LeagueApps? When are you going to do this? Because the power of what we do, I think parents are starting to see the big picture, right? Like, wow, I can manage my schedule and my logistics in one place. And so in a way, it's creating that sort of, if only this was integrated. And so that naturally opens up growth opportunities, market share, and retention, right? I mean, parents can go to just one instead of one and this. You know, it goes without saying that we have a much more engaged parent.
So you were telling me before, you're from California, from Silicon Valley, and a lot of the youth sports is obviously everywhere, proportionally to population in the U.S., but a lot of the, I want to say, like, the brain of it right now is happening on the East Coast. You've been here now twice in 2 weeks. Yeah. What are you seeing as kind of the Silicon Valley mindset coming into a space that is, in some ways, there's people that have been in for 20, 30 years operating sports, and then you have this influx of capital and technology, and there's like 2 very different crowds coming together, the new people and kind of the legacy folks. What's that been like?
It's been very eye-opening for me. We started Onsides in July, and one of the things that I had to do was jump into the space to see what it's like. I mean, from all walks of life, from the operators to the coaches to the software services to the money. I mean, it's a huge spectrum of different folks. And I think, coming from the West Coast, Silicon Valley, it's known for disruption. It's known for pushing the envelope on certain things. And my reception to when I bring that up to folks, I think it's interesting. There's a bit of a mixed reaction, right? Look, youth sports at its core sports in general is very, very regimented, right? You got to find the field, you got to find the coaches, you got to get the players, right? A lot of that is very evergreen, right? That's not going to change. People have seen what Onsites is trying to bring into the mix and had, kind of like, wow, okay, like someone's actually thinking a little bit outside the box to make the parents' lives easier. So it's been a very interesting reception when I've talked about what we're up to.
These are different sort of investment bets than maybe the traditional, say, Silicon Valley investment, which is looking for the next 1,000x an AI type opportunity. the investments, whether it's private equity or VC or angel investors in youth sports, a little bit like there seems to be a much different bend and goal with that investment. Talk about what you're seeing there, because I'm noticing it just walking around down there that people are talking different about involvement and culture, which I don't know. I'm not from there, but like I imagine the conversations are a little bit different when you're looking for those huge bets.
Yeah, if I kind of take a step back and look at the investment landscape of youth sports, it's interesting because I think there's like kind of a reverse mentality coming from the Silicon Valley side versus, say, the East Coast youth sports kind of, New York City is a big place for media and some technology and a lot of investment. On the West Coast, it's like the investors there, the institutional investors, they need to be educated on the youth sports market. They don't really know at a visceral level that it's a huge burgeoning and constantly growing market, even in just the US. So that education needs to be sort of, it's kind of a preamble to a lot of my conversations with them. Over here, it's like the opposite. Like they know what's happening in youth sports, but the disruptive nature of technology is something that I think they have to get a little more comfortable with. So it's almost like this reverse effect of the type of investors that I'm talking to and trying to kind of get behind what we're up to.
What's on the roadmap near term for you guys? What features, services are you guys looking to expand into?
We're preparing our general release, our public launch. Our goal is the winter sports season, and we've got a lot of box checking that we have to do along the way. But yeah, we're heads down getting our general release out, and hopefully by the winter season.
Last one, we're at NextUp here at LeagueApps in New York. What are you getting out of this event? I know you were at John Wall Street event last week. What are you getting out of events like this?
A couple things. I'm on a mission to kind of expose what Onsides is up to, because it's interesting with all the keynotes that I've heard from last week and this week. There is a common theme of the fragmentation, and the fragmentation is happening at all levels, and it affects all spokes of the ecosystem. And even just, when we were talking about, I think there was the Craft Analytics speaker was talking about she herself uses 4 apps. I don't know if you caught that, but she mentioned it, and I was like, okay, hey, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was about to make a fool out of myself and say, hey, don't worry, I got it. But it's interesting to hear it in different lenses, from different lenses of the fragmentation in this space. And so coming to these events, it's been helpful for me to see it at all levels. Try to figure out where can we push a little bit to get the awareness out, and what sort of product market fit we can find in this industry.
Dave, thanks for coming back. Two-time,
yes,
first two-time Buying Sandlot guest, and I'm sure we'll have you back at some point in the future.
Awesome.
Thanks
All right.
for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.